guys, welcome to the Film and TV channel, and today, yes, it's back, Doctor Who's back, yes, interesting this one. You know me, if you've watched any of my vlogs, I have taught Doctor Who before. Not been overly impressed with the last few seasons, Mr. Capaldi and obviously Jodie Whittaker at the moment. Not particularly anything to do with them as such, but some of the writing over recent series hasn't been great. But we've got it back, haven't we? We've got a new one. We've got Doctor Who Flux. A little bit of a difference this time. So let's see if it's going to make a big difference to whether I like it or not. We've got 6 episodes. Obviously, there is actually going to be more than that, but we've got 6 episodes and encompassed by the title Flux. So it's called Flux altogether. This is BBC and on BBC America as well. It's obviously series 13 of the reboot of Doctor Who now, of course, the rejigged style of Doctor Who. And for the first time, yes, this is where it gets interesting. For the first time since the trial of a Time Lord, I believe, back in 1986, and the third time in the programme's history, the series tells one complete story across its entirety. So you used to get little hints, didn't you? Little clues throughout the series, but it was like one-off series or perhaps a two-part occasion. But this, yeah, is a 6-episode story over its entirety, so rather than the self-contained stuff, which is interesting. So I've checked out episodes 1 and 2 of this 6-episode special. It started on the 31st of October 2021 here in the UK. It's certainly not on, you can watch individual episodes on iPlayer up to 1 and 2, but obviously there's no binge watching for this. I've got to watch it weekly. And the first 2 episodes were entitled, the first one was Halloween Apocalypse, which did show on Halloween night, of course, and War of the Centaurans has just aired a day before I'm doing this review. Directed by Jamie Magnus Stone and written by Chris Chibnall. I think obviously this is his last foray into Doctor Who as well. And it is the third to feature, of course, third series to feature. It's been cut short, this one, because of COVID limitations. Obviously, there's not as many as we've had, up to 13 episodes, haven't we? We don't get that many with this series. But it's the third to feature Jodie Whittaker, of course, as the 13th Doctor, and her last foray into this. There will be 2 further episodes in 2022 and a feature-length episode as well to finish off, I think, Jodie Whittaker's tenure. I'm not too sure of the order of those, but I say after this 6-series special. Mandeep Gill, of course, returns as Yasmin Khan. We had the departure of Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole, of course, in Revolution of the Daleks. John Bishop has joined the cast. Obviously not overly impressed by a lot of people. I'll go into that a little bit more and I'll give you my little views. But he returns as a guy called Dan Lewis. Jacob Anderson appears also in a recurring role as Vinda. We were introduced, of course, as this carries on to a range of guest stars. There's quite a few names, a lot of UK-based actors, of course. So what's it about? Well, this is the blurb from the BBC. This is a blurb from Doctor Who. It's an epic 6-part adventure which will take the Doctor and her friends to the edge of the universe and beyond in a battle for survival packed with action, humour, terrifying new villains and iconic returning monsters such as the Centaurans, Weeping Angels. This new series of Doctor Who tells one story across a vast canvas, from Liverpool to the depths of space via the Crimean War and a planet named Atropos, which shouldn't even exist, fighting old foes and new creatures from beyond our dimension. The Doctor and company face a race against and through time to uncover a universe-spanning mystery. What is the Flux? There you go. So quite a good synopsis. Sounds okay, doesn't it? Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a real mix in this. I mean, let's give you my little thoughts on this. After far too many, as I said, after far too many seasons of mediocrity, in my opinion, as far as stories and the writing is concerned, not particularly the acting. Some of the acting's not been great. I'll mention a couple of characters in a minute. But we have a new twist, of course, with this. It's not been seen since 1986, according to the blurb before. So this is a complete story, of course. But there's sort of mini plots within it and mini stories within it as well, which are sort of rounded off and finished off as it's going through. But obviously, it's slightly different to the norm. personally, after watching episode 1, again, the jury was a little bit out with me. I wasn't overly convinced after episode 1 because it sort of threw lots of stuff at you. It's obviously characters and different things. Not all the characters were in episode 2, so it's getting things ready. It was sort of delving into what was going to happen over the 6 episodes, and it was a bit too much for me. It was a bit too much input for my poor little brain, that episode 1. But there's always a but, and thankfully there is a but. By episode 2, it did develop again. The storylines did start to develop. As I say, some guys who were in episode 1 didn't feature in episode 2, so they will obviously come back into the story as it progresses over the 6 episodes. But it did build on certain characters, of course. And obviously the other guys were put on the back burner. And for once, I'm really interested in watching the next episode. For once, I'm looking forward to it. I've not been able to say that for a long time with Doctor Who. By the end of episode 2, I thought, yeah, it's great. You got evil, nasty things coming into it that we've not seen before. You got the regulars who are appearing with it. Obviously, say we had the Weeping Angels in episode 1, but obviously they're gonna feature again later on because they certainly were in episode 2, etc. So there you go. I am quite excited. Well, yeah, excited. I will use the word excited by watching further episodes. I say, very unusual. Right, even John Bishop, who was a bit thinking about, as I thought, was still a little one. Not the greatest actor, of course, he isn't, but you get that with Doctor Who anyway. You're not going to get the greatest acting, but at least his sense of humour sort of shines through. It did make me laugh 2 or 3 times. Over the couple of episodes, I must admit. He got better by the 2nd episode. And of course, although we can do without the Liverpool FC hype, which there is in this way, that's only a minor gripe. I do like Bradley Walsh. I like some of his stuff, but I thought he'd been a bit weak in this Doctor Who series. Of course, Tosin Cole as well. But obviously, as I mentioned before, both these guys are not in this now. But I thought Tosin Cole was another weak link in the programme from an acting point of view, from a personality point of view. But so I am glad, I know it's a horrible thing to say, I'm glad Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole are not in it anymore. And I was a bit set back by John Bishop being introduced. But as I said, he's sort of growing on me, but certainly better than those other 2 guys, unfortunately. Mandip Gill, yeah, for me has improved as well. I've been quite impressed in these first 2 episodes. She seems to be doing a lot better than I remember Mandip Gill as well, so that's quite good. And Jodie's Jodie, isn't she? I mean, she's not the greatest actor, don't forgive me for saying that, but I think she's got a great personality as a doctor, and as I say, give her a good story. That's all that was missing over the last 2 seasons of Jodie Whittaker. The fact she wasn't given the material to deliver, even though she does have a presence. I do like a character as such, a personality, if you like. Some good scenes within the constraints of a BBC budget, as you'd expect. Some battle scenes, etc. Some inside scenes of spaceships, etc. Obviously, you can see the join occasionally, but within the constraints of a BBC budget, it was quite adequate. It's good. I did enjoy it. So I'm looking forward, as I said, to the rest of the story. And as I said, it's not something I've said very often over the past few years. As I say, I was a big Doctor Who fan as a young man, as a child. Obviously, I went off it a little bit when obviously it got a bit weird for me, but I got really back into it, this brand new reboot, if you like, with the Christopher Ecclestons and Matt Smiths of this world, all that sort of thing. I sort of got back into it. And this for me is bringing it back up to a reasonable standard where I can enjoy it. Yeah, so my ratings, the series so far, episodes 1 and 2. I want to give episode 1, I was going to give it a 5.5, 6, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because, as I said, it was trying to create all the new characters and get you sort of ready for what was ahead. I thought it was just, I was misled actually. I thought this was a 2-part. I didn't realise it was a 6-part, so I was a bit confused by that first episode. But now I know that, I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And episode 2, I will give a 7 out of 10. I thought it was excellent. So far, 2 episodes in. Let's hope this continues. I'm going to give it overall a 6.5 out of 10. Anyway, let me know what you think of old Doctor Who and Jodie and everything, John Bishop, etc., etc. Please let me know what your thoughts. But yeah, I'm a happy chappy now. As I say, I'm really looking forward to episode 3 of Doctor Who Flux. So let's hope it continues. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Film and TV channel. Please have a look at my Citizen channel, my channel on my football team, Manchester City. Yeah, not Anfield. Have a look at that if you get a chance. But if you're not interested in the football, please join me back in here for something else. Lots of I try and inform and entertain on this with reviews, film reviews, drama reviews, TV reviews, and also information vlogs as well. So join me again on here. But until we meet again, please, I only ask you one thing. Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.